As the saying goes, life and death have fate, wealth and honor are in heaven. Can human destiny really not be changed? Let's listen to a story. During the Song dynasty, there was a businessman named Li Dazhuang who had been married for 30 years but had never had children. One day I met a monk on the street. When the monk saw Li Dazhuang, he said, "You have been married for 30 years and have no children." Li Dazhuang felt nervous and asked quickly, "Master, we don't know each other before, how did you know that I don't have children?" "This monk is here again. Not only do you have no children, but you will also have a bloody disaster this year." Li Dazhuang was unhappy when he heard this. When talking about how you, a monk, you said it, others said it was good, but you didn't. When Li Dazhuang returned home, he was always thinking about this matter. The food were boring, and he thought he would rather believe it than not. So he planned to go to Fujian to collect the payment, but he went home and didn't leave the door, and didn't sell it. Bibi's bloody disaster. It happened to rainy season after arriving in Fujian. The river rises. The boats are leaning on the shore and cannot pass. Li Dazhuang had no choice but to find an inn and stay for the time being. In the evening, the rain stopped. "We'll go out for a walk." As I walked, I arrived at the river. Suddenly I heard a thunderous rain. Looking down, I saw a woman jumping into the river and commit suicide. But I don't know how to behave. So he shouted to the boatman on the shore, "Who can save this person? I'll give him 30 taels of silver." I heard that there was a boatman with 30 taels. Jumped out of the river and rescued the woman. Li Dazhuang also gave the 30 taels of silver to the boatman readily. Then he said to the woman, "Why do you jump into the river and commit suicide?" The woman replied, "Today I went to the town to sell a cow. But let the thief steal the money. This is life-saving money for mother-in-law. Now there is no money. My mother-in-law can't see her illness. And there is no money. My husband won't let me go after I go back. So I jumped into the river and committed suicide." Li Dazhuang asked, "How much can a cow be sold?" The woman answered 20 taels. Li Dazhuang gave her 40 taels. After the woman returns home, "Tell her husband about this." But her husband doesn't believe it. Said, "Does he have any ideas about you? Just gave you so much money. Or you two have been together long ago. Say it quickly. Not say. Let me see how I deal with you today. My wife is helpless." So we arrived in the middle of the night. Li Dazhuang's in. But Li Dazhuang has closed the door and went to bed. So the couple knocked on the door. Li Dazhuang asked who. It's so late and knocks on the door. The woman replied, "Benefactor, I am the woman who committed suicide today." "Thank you very much. Li Dazhuang angrily scolded you as a woman. And I'm a lonely man. How can a lonely man and a widow meet in my room at night? Go back quickly. Wait until tomorrow, you can bring your husband together." My husband heard this. I realized that I had blamed my wife wrongly. So he said sincerely, "My benefactor, I am her husband. Get up and open the door." Li Dazhuang then got up and opened the door for them both. Just as I opened the door, I heard a loud noise in the room. It turns out that the ceiling of this inn has been disrepaired for so long. It also rained, so it collapsed. Not tolerated, just pressing on the bed where he was sleeping. Li Dazhuang's intention to open the door if he doesn't get up. I'm afraid my life will be explained here today. The couple also sweated coldly for Li Dazhuang, sighing that a good person is rewarded. After thanking Li Dazhuang, he left. On the way home, Li Dazhuang met the monk again. The monk glanced at Li Dazhuang and exclaimed, "Donor, you are blushing now. Saved 2 lives in one day. Therefore the disaster was eliminated. Will be blessed in the future." and he will live 100 years old. Sure enough, his wife gave birth to a pair of twins for him the next year. Very filial and promising when you grow up. Li Dazhuang really lived to be 100 years old before he died. This story tells us that fate can be changed. Doing good deeds without asking for blessings will come naturally. Keep a kind heart. Do more good deeds. Good luck will come naturally. Thank you for listening. I wish you healthier and more prosperous.